Hey everybody, this is Arthur Shopper, the field director for Mass Resistance. We are the international pro-family group that makes the difference. And I am grateful to a growing number of followers who are commenting on my videos. There was one comment on my previous video, and the commentator asked, or he stated, 100% agree that live and let live doesn't work. And then he put the question to me, well, what's your alternative? Please speak clearly, let us know. Okay, so just a reminder, the previous video was about how we can't have this ongoing compromise and accommodation for homosexuality, for transgenderism in the public square. There needs to be a clear recognition that they are perversions, they are disordered behaviors, they are sins, if you will. We need to restore these behaviors under the mens rea or mala in se prohibitions, which our common law tradition has asserted that they are criminal acts. For hundreds of years in every common law jurisdiction, especially in the United States, it was a crime for a man to dress as if he was a woman. Cross-dressing was illegal. It was a crime for two men to abuse each other, to engage in sodomy. Now, we can look back over those hundreds of years. You didn't see a 1984 style tyranny, dystopia, or surveillance state emerge. These statutes need to be restored, and the sanction must be reintegrated. There needs to be a statement of opprobrium against these behaviors, and there's no better way to do it than to have them in the criminal code. So does that mean we're going to see police officers breaking into everybody's private homes because of a suspicion, oh, those two guys are getting it on, or those two girls are getting it on? I submit to you, no. Because what it really amounts to is enforcement will follow when you see a growing imposition in the public square. Those anti-sodomy statutes in Texas, for example, you have the Attorney General and local police officers explain this to our previous Texas Mass Resistance chair. Those statutes enabled law enforcement to go after child molesters, prostitutes, and other forms of sexual deviancy and depravity. It was an aid and assist to protect children as well as the public order. But the answer is this: these behaviors have to be re-deviantized. They do have to be recriminalized. We have to reject this perverse notion when people say, oh, you're criminalizing people just for who they are or for who they love. No, we are recriminalizing behaviors. Feelings are feelings. People have murderous thoughts a lot. When you're in a parking lot and somebody takes your parking spot, lots of people, they imagine beating the crap out of the person, even to death, of the person who took their spot. But we don't arrest the person for a thought. And the same is true when it comes to feelings or behaviors. So somebody who has same-sex attraction issues and they seek a therapist, they have no fear of criminal sanction because they're not abusing their body. But we cannot ignore the fact that if you normalize homosexuality, you will see it proliferate. This is a widespread documented reality. This happened in the ancient Greek city-states. This was documented by Polybius, an ancient Greco-Roman historian who witnessed the moral, cultural, and even territorial implosion of the Greek city-states. You see Emperor Trajan, who is a virtuous pagan in many religious circles. He shut down all the bathhouses in Rome because of the depravity and also the spread of venereal disease. In Florence and in the other Italian city-states, homosexual conduct was heavily sanctioned because the behaviors were rampant and destructive. You have to re-deviantize. That is the approach. It doesn't mean you have to have a surveillance state. It doesn't mean you have to crack down on every person who tumbles into or stumbles into this perversion. But I think that's an appropriate standard. People have a misunderstanding in general of what liberty is about. Liberty is not about license. It's not about disorder. It's about ordered natural law. That you have the freedom to live out the arete, the potential in you, and you do not get to harm the public order in the process. Liberty does not impinge on the natural rights of others. And remember, while this is such an extreme position to criminalize perversion between men, between women, to criminalize cross-dressing, and by the way, we need to recriminalize the whole concept of sex change. That should be illegal entirely. You can't change your sex anyway. It is a horrific practice. It is the mutilation of a body. No doctor should be doing this. It should not be permitted at all. Not just, between, for minors or for individuals between the ages of 18 and 26, it should be banned completely. It is not a private matter, folks. When a confused man steps into a space and insists on presenting as a woman and requiring you to accept that lie, that is an impingement on you and on your natural rights. And it harms women in public spaces, in sports spaces, their very selves. Lies, dishonesty in a society are very harmful. They're harmful to the public order. Don't take my word for it. Camille Paglia, who herself still identifies as a lesbian, although she recognizes she was not born that way and it was born out of trauma, she has pointed out at length that societies which abandon a clear, healthy demarcation of male and female collapse. That harms all of us as well. Sexual degeneracy is inherently destructive, and it must be sanctioned, it must be curtailed. So, reverting back to that comment yesterday, yes, the answer is you have to re-deviantize LGBT behaviors. They're not identities, they should not be protected, and when you re-deviantize these perversions, guess what? You don't have the parades, you don't have the curricula, you don't have the drag queens grooming kids, grooming adults. You don't have the public health problems. You don't have the attacks on natural law, natural right. You don't see the cancel culture. You don't have the fascist tyranny that emerges in our society because homosexuality and transgenderism, for that matter, are allowed to run rampant. Yes, those are my answers. And I welcome your comments. I welcome your rebuttals if you think that's harsh or outrageous or even contrary to our constitutional norms. I'm willing to extend that discussion. And if you accept what I'm saying and you want to take a stand against all this perversion, you got to visit our website, massresistance.org. Sign up with us, reach out to us. We want to help you fight this perversion every step of the way we can in your area. We can fight this, we can win this. We've already done it, we can help you do it too.